speak, but I know in these kind of situations, I've got to read. So I will not get through this whole thing. So bear with me as I learn how to read to you in English. Thank you for coming, many of you from very far away. You've made this a special day for two very special people that we all love. Brendan, Emily, look around at everyone here. They are here not only to celebrate with you, but more importantly, because they love you and they care about you. On behalf of the bride, groom, and their families, thank you for celebrating with us today. We appreciate you being here. Since this is my second time doing this, the pressure is kind of on. Even though it's been 10 years since the last one, someone would remember if I repeated the entire speech. Even though most of it's still applicable. So here we go, all new material, mostly. But fortunately, Emily is a very original person, so it won't be a problem at all. Okay, these are the hard parts. Stuart, you're one of the most special people in the world to me. You've been my sidekick in so many things that we've done. For instance, when you're even little, correction, when you were much younger. Whenever I needed to change the oil in the car, you were the perfect size to fit under the car and loosen up the nut in the brake pan. How many of you can say your 5-year-old daughter knew how to change the oil in your car? Not sure she still does, but she did then. You were also always willing to go on those daddy-daughter doubleheader days. That's when we would go to a basketball game in the afternoon, go out to dinner right after that, and then go to a hockey game that night. It was like the perfect Minnesota winter. We did that for, I would say, more than 10 years. It was a long time, up until right before she came out here. They were always a very special day to me. As many of you know, though, Emily has a bit of a crazy streak in her too. I think she got it from her mother. If you doubt her craziness, just ask to see sometime her video of her jumping off a perfectly good bridge in South Africa. It was a bungee jump, by the way. It wasn't like totally jumping off. Or a perfectly good airplane in Wisconsin. Life to her has always been a semi-calculated adventure. She has had big dreams for her life, and she's making them all come true. We are so proud of you. And Emily has always had some very unique talents and interests. I remember once during a 3 or 4 week period in middle school, she not only won a dance competition, but got first place in a karate tournament, and then 4th place in the state science fair. What a unique trifecta. Dance, karate, and science. But beyond those physical and academic pursuits, she always had a dream of seeing the world too. She went on many missions trips to Mexico with her youth group as a teenager, then a couple to Africa and Haiti later in life. She studied abroad in Europe and South Africa while in college. Because of these unique attributes and skills and interests, we always wondered what in the world she would do in her life. And just as important, who would she share it with? It's been a pure joy watching you grow up and explore life to the fullest. But honestly, Squirt, one of the saddest moments of my life was that after driving you out here with you to start your new job, you dropped me off at the airport for me to fly back to Minnesota, then said goodbye and drove away. It was probably a good thing I was by myself. I knew that you were following God's plan for your life, and that helped. Some. But even now, we still miss you. But we know that without that moment of sadness, we would not have this moment of joy. You met someone truly amazing that you probably never would have if you'd stayed in Minnesota with us. Enter Brendan, what I refer to him as her international man of mystery. As many of you know, Brendan and his family have traveled and lived in many places around the world. Brendan and Emily met at work, as you heard, and most of you know. Their friendship has grown over the years before they even started to date. The key to the relationship, however, was not the adventures that they had taken, but their shared love of Jesus. God brought their journey together in the most interesting way and at the perfect time. You know, when your daughter, and I assume your son as well, tells you that they are getting married, you immediately begin to worry. Brendan, let me say up front, you have exceeded all of our hopes and expectations. And John has set the bar pretty darn high. So, kudos to John. And as you've heard in the last few minutes, that you're getting to know Emily as well, you've married an amazing woman. But we know that you are an amazing person as well, for a few reasons. First, we've been praying for you since Emily was born, which technically, I guess, was even before you were born. We prayed that she would marry someone with a strong moral character that loves her like we do and loves God even more. Brendan, check, check, check. Anna and Brad, thank you very much for raising such an amazing young man. We are grateful that you are willing to share your son with us, and just as important, grateful for accepting our daughter into your family and loving her too. Thank you, it means a lot. Brendan and Emily, you are starting a new and wonderful adventure together. We celebrate this beginning with you and know God will use you in ways that none of us can even comprehend, because truly you're both amazing and awesome people. And now the part that I do have to repeat from 10 years ago, because frankly, it was just that good. So I apologize to those of you who were here there before. Brendan, you are a lucky guy to have Emily as your life partner. We know she will always be loyal to you and your dreams, continue to love her unconditionally, and you will always have huge fans in us. And to both of you, Brendan, Emily, I think I speak for all of us, your parents and siblings, and yes, Molly, when I say we love you, we are committed to you and your successful marriage, and we'll do everything we can do to help you. So please take your time, get to know each other, and work on your relationship first. However, when you are ready, and I can only speak for myself here, although I don't believe I'm alone on this one, I'll definitely be ready to be called Pop-Up again when it's time. And Molly does need some cousins. So, toast to both of you. Congratulations, and we love you very much.